Namaste. I am Mrs. Soumya, Assistant Professor, Department of Sanskrit, MOP Vaishnav College for Women. Today, we are going to deal with the topic Mahakavyani. So, before we proceed to the main topic Mahakavyas, let us see what is a kavya. What are its varieties? What is the prayojanam or the purpose of reading the kavya? So, kavyam basically means the outpour of a poet. Any literary composition comes under this category called kavyam. It is broadly classified into two as Shravya and Drishya. Shravya kavyas are those which we read and understand and that can be heard exactly, and Drishya means that is visible, so which is the visual mode of the kavya. So all the natakas comes under this Drishya kavya and rest of all the compositions comes under Shravya kavyas. So Shravya kavyas are again classified into three categories, namely Padyam, Gadyam and Champu. So what are Padya kavyas? Chandobadham Padyam. That which is fixed in the metrical feet. So we have every day we say lot of slokas, no? Suppose for example Vakratunda, Mahakaya, Suryakoti, whatever is the prayer, all those are in the format of shlokas, comes under Padya kavyas. So which is written in the shloka format, we call it as Padyam. Then Gadyam. Gadyam is Apadaha Padasantano Gadyam, which is not confined to the metrical feet. So which is not constructed like a shloka, it's only a narration. So whichever is narrated like a story, so we call it as prose. That is what is called as Gadya kavyam. Then what is Champu? Champu kavyam is the mixture of the prose and the poetry. Gadya padyamayi kavyam Champu iti abhidhiyate. So where there is a mixture of prose and also the poetry, then we call that as the Champu kavyas, because so in some point the poet want to narrate something, so at that time he can use this prose, and few places where he wants to describe anything, he uses this padyam. So this flexibility is there in this Champu kavyas. So these are the three major varieties of Shravya kavya. So again Padya is divided into two as Mahakavyas or Khanda kavyas. We can either call as Khanda kavyas or Laghu kavyas. So Mahakavyas, the topic that we are going to deal today with that is the Mahakavyas. So major kavyas, we can say it as. What are the features? So before we see what are the features of this kavya, let us just look into the purpose of the kavya. Though there are a lot of purpose in writing a literary composition, the very important purpose is Vyavahara Vidam. It teaches us the behavioral ethics, Vyavahara. Vyavahara is nothing but the way you behave. So we should know what is right, what is wrong, how to behave towards this particular person or how to react towards this particular situation. So all these comes under behavioral ethics. So once when you go for any job, so how you used to behave at home, you cannot do the same way there. So you have some professional ethics where there is a need for that. So all these can be taught, all these can be learnt from the Mahakavyas. So that is one of the main purpose of reading a kavyam. So let us move on to the features of a Mahakavya. So how do you confirm that this comes under Mahakavya? What are its features? Sargabandho Mahakavyam Uchyate Tasya Lakshanam Ashir Namaskriya Vastu Nirdesho Vapi Tanmukham. Sargabandaha Mahakavyam. The very first thing is it should be Sargabandham. It should be divided into chapters. So if you take major Mahakavyas like Raghuvamsham or Kumarasambhavam, so first we see how many chapters are there. So Raghuvamsham has 19 chapters. Naishadam has 22 chapters. Haravijaya has 50 chapters. Krishna Vilasa Kavyam with 12 chapters like this. So it should be divided into chapters, which is called as Sargabandham. And then, how to start? How to begin the Kavya? It's very important, no, to how we start or commence it. So it can be of three types. One is Ashi, Namaskriya and Vastu Nirdesha. Ashi. So we all heard about this word Ashi. So Ashirvada, Ayushman Bhava, all these we say, no? So just like that, even the poet write a verse of Ashi. Ashi in the sense, blessing the readers. Or next is Namaskriya. Namaskriya is the salutations. So if you take Vagartha viva sampraktau, Vagartha pratipattaye, Jagatah pitarau vande, Parvati parameshwarau. Here, this is the very first verse of Kalidasa's Raghuvamsham, where the poet salutes the parents of the universe, Shiva and Parvati. So this is how he starts his work. And those who are in the form of Vag and Artha, the word and the meaning. Okay, so either it can be Ashi or it can be Namaskriya, or he can directly go into the plot. Directly he can start the storyline, just like many kavyas are done. Shriyak Kuruna Madhipasya Palani. So if you take the very first verse of Kiratarjuniyam, where the first verse says that Yudhishthira meets Vanechara. So he had already appointed a spy to go and find out what Duryodhana is doing, how he is ruling. So to find out all those, after finding these, he comes back and meets Yudhishthira in the Dvaitavanam. This is the very first shloka of Kiratarjuniyam, where he directly starts the storyline. So a Mahakavya can commence like this in these three ways: Ashi, Namaskriya or Vastu Nirdesham. Vastu is the plot, Nirdesham directly into going into that. So Ashi, Namaskriya, Vastu Nirdesho Vapi Tanmukham. It can be in the beginning. And then, so even if you see a movie, what you would first see, what is the story? So from where it is taken from somewhere or what? What is the base of this particular movie, right? Like that, even for a kavyam, what is the plot? That is very important. From where the author has derived it? Or is there any particular rule to derive the plot for a kavyam? Yes, it is. Itihasa kathodbhutam. A poet can derive his plot from itihasas. So what are itihasas? The epics. Ramayana and Mahabharata are the two itihasas. What is the meaning of itihasa? Iti iha asa. This happened in this way here. Iti in this way, iha here happened asa. That's why we call that as itihasas. Ramayana and Mahabharata are the two itihasas, from where most of the Mahakavyas taken their plot. Raghuvamsham, the Solar Dynasty kings, Kiratarjuniyam from Mahabharata, where Shiva will come as a Kirata, hunter, and test Arjuna. Shishupala Vadham, the killing of King Shishupala. Naishadhiya Charitam, Naishadhiya Charitam, story of King Nala, again it is from Vanaparva of Mahabharata. Kumara Sambhavam of Kalidasa, it is from Puranam. So like this, you can take, the poet can derive his plot from itihasas or any story of some good merit. Even it can be historical. So we have Buddha Charitam, for example. So like this, there is certain restrictions for deriving the plot. So with the plot, you can find out that this comes under which category. Chaturvarga Palopetam. Next is, it should help further to achieve the fruit of the Purusharthas. What are the Purusharthas? What does it mean? Goal of human life. So what it is? What is the main goal? So each one will have different goal. How can you say that it is a human goal in common? Yes, it is. We have 4 Purusharthas. The purpose of life is dharma, artha, kama and moksha. Dharma is the duties and the responsibilities. Artha, to earn money. Kama, to enjoy the pleasures. And moksha, finally, get relieved of the cycle of birth and death. These are the goals of human life. So somehow by reading this kavya, you should step ahead to fulfill your goals. So it should help. So the content cannot be misleading. Okay, it should have good content. The readers should be fulfilled of these Purusharthas. And then what kind of hero? So how is he a romantic hero or is he an action hero? What kind of hero is he? Chaturodatta Nayakam. A Mahakavya should have a Nayaka, one who is Chatura, one who is very clever in his Vyavaharam, and also Udatta, one who is generous. It can have lot of descriptions. So when you have to put it in the sargas and you have lot of constraints to make it as a Mahakavyam. So it can have lot of descriptions like Nagara Varnanam. A poet can describe a town, a forest, whichever is looking beautiful to him, he starts describing it in his own way. So like that, lot of descriptions, and there is some rules of meters that is to be employed, in the kavyam. So like this goes the lakshanam of a Mahakavyam. So after looking all into what are the sentiments that is needed, what that can be employed in a Mahakavyam. So all these together forms this Mahakavya. So what are the major Mahakavyas in Sanskrit literature? If you see, so there are very famous Mahakavyas. Raghuvamsham of Kalidasa, Kumara Sambhavam, again written by Kalidasa, Kiratarjuniyam of Bharavi, Shishupala Vadham of Magha, Naishadhiya Charitam of Sriharsha. These are the 5 Mahakavyas. Out of these, 2 were written by Mahakavi Kalidasa, and Kiratarjuniyam written by Bharavi, Magha is the author of Shishupala Vadha, and Sriharsha is the author of Naishadhiya Charitam. So Raghuvamsham describes about the kings of Solar dynasty. Kiratarjuniyam, as I said already, Shiva disguised as Kirata, a hunter, comes and tests Arjuna to bless him with Pashupatastra. Shishupala Vadham, the killing of the king Shishupala. Kumara Sambhavam, the birth of war god Subramanya, and Naishadhiya Charitam deals with the story of Nala and Damayanti in detail. Out of these, Raghuvamsham from Ramayanam, and all the three, Kiratarjunyam, Shishupalabadam and Naishadam, has its plot from Mahabharata and Kumarasambhava from Purana. Today, we have covered the topics like Kavyam, what are its varieties, what is the purpose of the Kavya, and what are the 5 major Kavyas in Sanskrit literature. So, in the next session, we'll deal this in detail. Thank you.